Well, it goes hand in hand. I've been involved with the National Society of Hispanic MBAs for 21 years. I was actually one of the people that started the Houston chapter. The first conference was actually in Chicago. This year's conference is Chicago, so 21 years later, we're back in Chicago. But the idea of increasing representation of Latinos in corporate America and be more successful in corporate America has always been part of, I think, who I am. I think I started my company just for that. My mantra is really, I want to change the color of corporate America. So in this day and age, you're looking at a population that is really going to be it's already the biggest. It's going to continue to even grow even bigger. The issue becomes, are we just a mass population that's going to be the Indians doing the job versus the leaders leading the companies? I think that's why this is so important. We've really got to teach people how to become the leaders, how to become the innovators, and how to run companies versus being part of the employee population. I think the part of the problem is, and that's what Glenn was talking about, is that we get into a company and to be successful, we actually push those characteristics back. And the reason we push them back is because the corporations still are not ready for you to act in this way. And that's the difference between corporations that are talking about, we want to hire diversity. They hire diversity, but then they say, now you got to act this way to be successful. Or they say, we are trying to hire diversity and be more innovative. But if you keep rewarding the people that act in form A, and those are the ones that move up the organization, it doesn't create that clarity of vision. For me, it's Latin passion. I mean, I'm a very passionate person myself. So, taking the jump from corporate to running my own business, the entrepreneurial spirit, some people say, are you crazy? Why are you leaving at this time? And I'm going, you know what? My whole life has been about changing the color of corporate America. My whole life has been about making an impact. And the way I looked at it is, when I was at General Mills for 10 years, I made a big impact there. But today I really believe I can go help other companies reach their goals by helping them do what I did at General Mills and show them kind of the ropes, show them the things I learned. And that's the exciting part. So passion is big for me. The big thing that I started out when I joined General Mills 11 years ago was when I got there, I realized quickly, and one of the things they wanted to do was increase Hispanic representation. And it wasn't selling General Mills, because General Mills is a great company, great career. It was selling Minneapolis. So it was creating a community. And it really came down to one word, which was, the big impact that I did was I said, let's start the employee network, but you're joining La Familia. You're joining the family. So now people are being onboarded, people are being successful, and they're part of a family. So we want you to be successful. We want to help you to be successful. We even expanded that. I started the Latino Employee Networks of the Twin Cities. So we joined with other corporations like Best Buy, Target, Medtronic, Land O'Lakes, Super Value, and got all the Latino employee networks together. So now we're creating a bigger community, because the key to being successful in corporate America is not only to do well, but if you don't stay at the company, you're not going to move up the organization. By creating this bigger community, people create roots, and now they're going to stay. So now you've got people that would leave in 2 to 3 years. Now they're staying 5 and 6 years. Now they're becoming managers. Now they've become directors. And that's the key. So every company is kind of dealing with that same problem. But by getting people together, you create a bigger community and create roots. People stay longer. I've always been the outsider. And I've kind of thrived on that for being the person that's different. But growing up, I was born in Kansas City, Missouri. My dad's Mexican, my mom's Puerto Rican, but I grew up in Puerto Rico. I went to an American school in Puerto Rico, Fort Buchanan, because my dad was a U.S. government employee in the Weather Service. But we lived off base. So here's how I was being seen. When I lived off base around Puerto Rico, I actually was a gringo because I went to an American school. When I went to my high school, I was seen as a Mexican because of Zamarripa. When I went to visit my relatives in Kansas City, I was a Puerto Rican. So nowhere where I was at, I was part of the group. And I think that really shaped who I am, that I always want to be parts of groups and bring in people and make them feel comfortable. And, my whole career has been about talent acquisition, and diversity. So I've got both aspects of how to recruit, but then how to onboard, and then the key to corporation is how to retain that talent and make it successful. The issue is there's been Latinos now in corporate America for a long time. We're at the cusp of being in leadership positions like running major corporations. But when you look at the reality, you know, how many CEOs are Hispanic in Fortune 100 companies? Not even a handful, 2 or 3, I think. When you look at the key organizations of recruiting and talent acquisition and diversity, those jobs have been taken mostly by African Americans and females. There's only, again, a handful of Hispanics. I think when Hispanics get to those jobs, they need to really realize, well, what's the population coming up? It's mostly Hispanics. How can I increase that population for my company? I think we become too oversensitive. When you look at the African American community, they were very open about, I'm going to hire African Americans and make them successful. Latinos go, well, I don't want to hire a Latino. They're going to think I'm being biased. We need to be more proactive and say, no, we need to bring in Latinos. That's the marketplace. Look at the marketplace. We need to have leadership that looks like the marketplace. And that's what I think I've been able to do and really been successful at. And that's what I want to teach other companies to do.